Welcome along, guys. It's finally here. It is round one of our season 6. A week later than normal because of Kunos being Kunos. But I hope you're all keeping well. We've postponed the Watkins Glen race till near the end of the season. But tonight we're in Kyalami. It is 90 minutes and a possibility of rain here this evening. And we're into qualifying now. So for the first part of qualifying, it's Pro-Ams out. And in the second part of qualifying, we will have the pros out. We have a 34 stack grid this evening. We are missing a few drivers with holidays and whatnot. But really looking forward to this. A good few drivers in the pits at the minute. Terry Dunn is another regular coming back again to see racing. Gil Hardry there as well. Fabio, great to see you for M4R. We Finlay Gamble's back for 2ID. So Finlay, of course, being a great driver. Massive improvements. I'm looking forward to this season and what he can do. Can he get himself a championship win? Of course, his teammate Liam Smit is racing in the same split as him, so that'd be quite interesting to see. Then we've got Arsene Grigoronian. Arsene, I'm just going to call you. I'm going to ruin a few names, but that is part of the package. Then we've got Chris Polycott racing for ourselves for the Supercharged Motorsports team. He is in Pro-Am as well. Then we have a new driver, Juarez Augusto Jr., and he is for the Borato racing team. They didn't get their livery uploaded in time. Anonymous Rat, of course, out there in his beautiful looking Sex Pistols liveried Ferrari. Then we've got Rotato Roman, and of course the iconic Marlboro livery Porsche, obviously taking its essence from the McLaren MP44. Absolutely awesome to see that there. Then for some reason Stanek is in this category, which may not make sense to me, so that might have to be adjusted after the race. And then we have Simone Verzone as well in this. Everybody else I think is actually on track now. There's the man Liam Smit himself, and of course our good returner Anthony Ferrante as well, who's actually improved massively over the last few seasons or so. So interesting to see how his championship goes this time round. He done very well last season. He's looking for a few more steps this season. And Terry Dunn also is looking for that step up. And in terms of the pros, we'll go through them as they go out. Of course, there is one pro that will be in the pits, and that's Stuart Pryor. Even though he's the Pro-Am number, he's actually a pro driver, so he won't be out there just yet. So first time is literally just after coming in there now. Chris Podicott at 142.255, but there we have Arsan after coming in with a 141.937. I'm sure there's probably more time to come for these drivers. Then we've got Augusto and a 142.697 with Finlay Gamble just behind. Terry Dunn already is up about half a second. He's only 20 seconds into this, so obviously there will be a nice rate of improvement for a lot of drivers there. Anthony Ferrante's only started his lap, so at the minute then Arsen is still on provisional pole. Of course, there is a lot of drivers yet to go. We'll jump on with Anonymous Rat now, and he's second as they are coming around. And let's see what he can do here. Of course, Kyalami, one of my favourite tracks in racing, looks very different to what the original layout was. Of course, the original Kyalami had a lot bigger straights and a lot wider bends, nearly no protection. This version of Kyalami, for me though, is just absolute racing bliss. And these drivers are all extremely lucky to be out there racing on this one and not here watching. And Anonymous Rat goes third there at the minute with a 142.357 for the Pro-Am splits. Looking back further, we'll jump on with Stanek. I do have a feeling this bio might be in the wrong category, but I could be wrong. And if he is, he will be absolutely moved up. He's after letting off there now anyway. Very zone down behind, just going to jump on with him. So that's Simone M4 or Squadra Course Racing, absolutely being represented here as well this evening, which is what we like to see, those teams there. And Thomas Stanek then goes P8, obviously was not on a full hot lap as of yet. Chris Podicott though is still in P2 at the minute, is improving a little bit. Finlay Gamble goes on provisional pole with a 141.790. Where is his good friend Liam Smit? Liam is out there on a lap now. Let's see what Liam can do there. It's nice and smoocher there. Run wide on the curb, get as much speed as possible as he goes straight out to the right hand side. Goes down the middle, opens up the corner down. That's lovely stuff, Liam. And he doesn't do a short shift and got a little bit sideways. That would have lost him a little bit of time on exit there, but he should be quite fine as he is coming around now. Absolutely flat on it. Get as close to the left as possible. Open up that braking zone then. Beautiful stuff. Liam gets the turn in, nicely done. Looks like he had two little stabs maybe just to get the front end turning in as he'd like. This corner here will make or break people. Very cautious from Liam, so there's definitely more time for Liam there. That was a very cautious corner there. So as he goes around, of course they only have 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. They can finish their lap once they pass before the 10-minute mark. Finlay Gamble improving out there at the minute, also improving Chris Podicott. Also Stanek is out there. Let me see who else. Anthony Ferrante hasn't got a time in, and Marius Sizink is going to be getting a 30-second penalty. Have to put that in there because he will be getting himself 30-second pen otherwise. Now, so we get back into that. I don't want anybody out in the split when they shouldn't be out. So Finlay Gamble has improved. So we're going to jump on here now. Gilhardry, he's coming across the line, gets himself up into P6 there. I seen there was green on that time there, so fair play. Liam Smit is on a lap now. He has one more shot at it. If he doesn't get it right this time, he will have one more shot at it here this evening. Let's see how this one goes now. So he's what, 127, 128. He took a bit of the car, but not enough to shut him off too much. So this could still be okay for Liam, and at least it'll be a time on the board. So I'm looking here. Anthony Ferrante P11 prior, not yet to go. So where does Liam come? Up into P8 he goes, and he still has another bite at the cherry as well. Terry Dunn will not be taking part in the qualifying session now. So the worst case for Terry Dunn, he could just find himself down at P12 before the pros go out. But that is it. The pros will be starting to get ready to get going soon. Once it reaches 10 minutes, they can leave the pits. I don't mind if they stack up behind. That's entirely up to them. But yeah, if you're watching, guys, let me know who you're watching and supporting this evening, and we'll give them a shout out. Of course, during the race, I do ask the audience that are watching who they'd like a hot lap with, where I just shut my mouth. We'll go on board and just enjoy the noise and the skills of some of these drivers. So let me see here. So Without Roman is coming around the last corner now. What are they going to do? Up into P4 there. That's a lovely time. So far the fastest time from the Pro-Ams is Finley Gamble, a 1:41.323. And it's going to be last chance hurrah for a few of these drivers. They can finish their lap, of course, once they pass before the 10-minute marker. Liam Smit, this is his last bite of the cherry, but he is already up half a second. He will not be able to get another lap in, though, unfortunately for him and anyone who isn't started a lap from now. So nobody else can start another lap. They need to finish what they're on, and that's it. Done and dusted. I'm going to jump back on with Liam because he's up quite a bit of time there. He's after finding more time on the exit of that corner. Nearly up a second. Does he get up to the second? He does. Well done, Liam Smit. Up into P6 he goes. Augusto Jr. is up a little bit of time. Stanek is up a bit of time as well. So let's see where Stanek goes here. Hard on the brakes. I love that Aston Martin as well. It's nice to see that car being represented here this evening. And of course, the King's Meat Snack livery. And around he goes. He's going to gain a bit of time. It's not going to be a position for him, though, unfortunately. But for Augusto, just behind, though, it's just going to be too far off position. So that is it. That's going to be it for qualifying for the Pro-Ams. Now the pros are all able to go out there now. So let's have a quick look through. We've got Matthias Zinke in here this evening. Absolutely love that BMW. We've seen that last season. Stu Pryor back in racing as well with that gorgeous looking Aston Martin and liveried. Aston Martin F1 liveried Aston Martin, should I say. Of course, our boy Dominic Geese is out there as well. Roschi's out there. Giuseppe Castellano, a good friend of ours, is out there. Ben Costa is out there. Jack Holden, Nathan Warren, of course, on his way out there for the Supercharged Motorsport team, my partner in crime, and the wild man Ryan O'Sullivan back in racing with ourselves. Great to have him back after a season out. We absolutely love Ryan. He's a good lad, and all the guys in Big Brain Racing are all bang on too. Vincenzo Spatuzzi for M4R, the handsomest man in all the lands, Glenn Smith. Konstantin Pavlov in a new machine driving the Ford. What a dude. And look at the queue. Andy Polycott. Then you got Fantanuzzi, Porkishov on a lap, Morris Boutin on a lap there racing for Supercharged Motorsports. Krizepsi out there in the Nissan. Absolutely, I'm loving to see his livery if he can get it uploaded. That livery will be awesome. Horse, I'm washed. Liam, you are not washed. You're still with it, mate, and a good championship just ahead of you as well. So let's see how it goes. So Conway as well, not ideal for him. So this is going to be kind of another warm-up lap. Chris Fining is out there. Good to see him back racing. John Dudley back in racing in Supercharged now as well. Aaron Holloway, of course, so close to trying for the championship last season. He will be absolutely one of my favourites to get up there into a championship fighting contention. Sergei Nestrov there as well. So let's wait until see the time start coming in. At the minute, Finley Gamble still holds pole position, and we are down to 7 minutes of qualifying left. So this will be all about getting the space out. Of course, there's more pros racing tonight than there is Pro-Am, so traffic is going to be a thing in getting a good lap time in. So Nestrov here, I'm pretty sure, actually Boutin will be the first across the line, and Boutin goes pole a 1:41.207, then Konstantin Pavlov a 1:40.955, then Nestrov a 1:40.937, Definitely coming in thick and fast there. Glenn Smith then goes at 141.407 just behind Finley Gamble. Chris Finan goes across the line at 140.97. Porkishov is just absolutely flipping and changing every 2 seconds there. So a 140.587 now from Porkishov there. Absolutely brilliant lap there. And waiting for the next ones to come in. Ryan Sullivan down in P5 at the minute. Aaron Holloway obviously didn't get a hot lap in that time round. Traffic can be key, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Jack Holden then P6, so a few people out of position that I would have expected. Where's Dominic Geese going to come into this as well? We'll keep an eye on Dominic Geese as he is out there, although he's a little bit back on his lap. Where's Nathan Moore on this one here? So Nathan, we'll keep an eye with Nathan as he goes around. Of course, he's a supercharged motorsports team driver. So let's see how he gets on. Nice eggs there. I know that McLaren is quite nice around this track. It has quite a nice bop too, though, to go with it. So for Nathan Warren, where does that put him then? P21, so he's obviously not got a fast lap in yet. So looking at the times, Morris Boutin is improving. He's up about 0.4 of a second. He does need to find a little bit more if he's looking to get onto that pole position, as he's lost a bit of time with the exit. I've ruined it for him there. He'll probably get down possibly to P2. Yes, he does. P2 for him, but he still has essentially another 2 to 3 laps if he has enough fuel. Fantanossi next on a lap. Glenn Smith, though, is on the lap. I think now Glenn is just getting ready to get going. So let's see what Glenn can pull out of the bag now. Dominic East coming up towards the line. For Dominic now, where does that put him? Puts him into P20, so it is kind of spread out at the minute. I think in terms of getting the track with a bit of airtime in it. Oh, it's that Ferrari of Porkishov, unfortunately, is stuck behind Dominic East. There's nothing he can do. He needs to hold off, wait for time, and go again. It's up to you to leave enough distance to the car ahead. So Morris Boutin again doing quite nice. John Dudley in the Nissan up into P13 at the minute, and we know that Nissan, I love it, but it does not enjoy some curbs, and of course it doesn't have overall grip compared to a few of the others. Cripsesi there goes into P28. Giuseppe Castellano gets himself up into P14. Then Stuart Pryor yet to get a time, and let's see where Stuart Pryor goes. I think the traffic for the pros tonight has been the biggest issue. But they still have a few laps left to kind of push it up and get forward there. In terms of time, we're still at the 140.520. Pryor is still going strong. We'll jump on with Dominic Geese now, who is trying to improve as well. He is up quite a bit of time. I do feel Porkishov has a bit more to come. He's sitting P2. He needs to give himself a bit of room now. Dominic East there, beautifully done around the last corner. That's definitely going to pull him up a few spots. And there we go, Dominic East up into P12. That was a much better lap from him. Aaron Holloway coming around, up 7/10. Let's see where that puts Aaron Holloway. Up into P14 so far for Aaron Holloway. Now Cripsesi. I always ruin his name. I think his wife or his girlfriend is visiting him as well, so hopefully he's not too distracted by that when he's racing here this evening. And he's coming around now in the Nissan, gaining a bit of time there as well, and actually gained more time through that corner, even though it looked like it was slower. Nicely done, and through the last corner he's going to be jumping up about a second, so we could see him possibly up into the top 20. No, P21 for him at the minute. Of course, everybody is out there improving. Anthony Ferrante, so you can still see Andy Policott. Oh, he will have time if he can get around for one more lap. Is slightly out now, but Finley Gamble, in fairness to him, in the Pro-Am qualifying so far in P13, that's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Konstantin Pavlov, though, 140.357 as all of this is going on. He's slightly improving at the minute in this Ford. He's obviously really found a bit of home with it. Hasn't improved on that lap there, and stays at the same time. Porkashov though is up a bit of time here, and this could be provisional pole we're looking at. So as Porkashov comes around the last corner, as Vining has just jumped ahead of Porkashov, I think Porkashov will be jumping at pole. He does a 140.232, and that is going to be very, very hard to beat. Ryan O'Sullivan is gaining a bit of time so far, and he's only started his lap. Then we're back on the Matthias Sink there. He is up about 10th and a half at the minute, and could find himself possibly jumping John Dudley. That's a great time from John Dudley, actually. What the hell? A 140.850 on the Nissan GTR there from him. Absolutely unbelievable. That's some driving from John. Still life left in the old boy. As Matthias comes around the last corner, going to be improving by a few tenths. Could jump Morris Booton even. No, just behind Morris Booton. Speaking of Morris Booton, he is up a little bit of time as well. Everybody seems to be improving at the minute. Not many people not improving. Conway is improving, but needs to find a little bit more to jump up. Glenn Smith could be jumping from 17th up to about P12 to P10. Depends on how much more time he can find. So he's got 2 more corners to go. What can he pull out of the bag there? That's lovely stuff there. If he can keep it going, he does. Nice stuff. Glenn giving it absolutely everything here now on the exit of the corner. He's going to hold about half a second. This is going to pop Glenn up quite a bit there. And Glenn goes up into P9 there with that lap from P17. That's what it's all about. It's making that last lap count. There's still people improving there at the minute. Pavlov is improving. He's only started. Morris Booton is giving up in P3. That's him done and dusted. He is happy enough with that. And now Nesterov, I'm just going to call him Surrogate, is up 0.2, possibly nothing of a second now after that, unfortunately. We'll jump back on with Spatuzzi. Do you know what? That's my new favourite name. Spatuzzi. Giuseppe Castellano as well improving a bit of time, so still people everywhere improving. Conway improving by a huge amount here as well. Did I not? I didn't just see that, did I? I'm just watching the replay of this. I can't believe that he just got nudged. Oh, I don't know what was going on there, but anyway, it's done and dusted. Nathan Moran is improving, but not improving enough. Oh, look, Finley Gamble and Dominic East on the exact same time, a 142 or 141.232 exactly. Dominic East though is trying to improve. Nathan Moran though jumps up there as well, not too far off the guys. Looking there, I'm pretty sure that's it. That's qualifying done and dusted. Wowzers. That was stunning. Absolutely stunning there. That was some time as well. A 142.32 from Porkashov. Pavlov a 142.87. That's super close point. 0.55 of a second between them. Then it's 2 tenths back to Morris Booton. So the top 16, 17 are covered by a second exactly. So the top 17 is second exactly there. Finley Gamble, an exceptional qualifying from you, mate, and your split. And Stuart Pryor then in P19 as well as Course Pro. Then from, yeah, so if you look at that then, so P17 down to 27 is 2 seconds. And then to Liam Smit, I know actually from P17 to Liam Smit is 2 seconds. So it's quite nicely gapped out there as well. And I'm expecting some interesting racing this evening from all these guys. And we will go through the order once we get into the race session there. But yeah, that was a lot to try and keep on top of in the time allowed. But all drivers have done a great job there with that one, and great to see some new faces really putting in some great times. Of course, Porkashov has raced here in the past, Pavlov has, Vining has as well. So, but it's good to see the new guys and new faces coming in and mixing it in with the guys. So yeah, really looking forward now to this race. Our race on Friday in the Sprints League was in Kyalami. Exact same conditions, and we had epic racing. You can watch that back live on the YouTube channel here as well. Let's go back to the live feeds and you'll see round 2 Kyalami. Of course, they got to have the round 1 Watkins Glen because the servers with Kunos were fine until the Wednesday. So yeah, you can watch that back live, of course. this week we will be back on Friday as well with some great racing. So waiting for this lobby to get going again. And just to give an update, I suppose, what we're doing, we've got the F1 League on a Monday night. That's crossplay. We will be registering that, I think, fully on SimGrid slash Grid Finder come season 6. So that'll be available on those platforms as well. And of course, then on SimGrid, we do have our Friday Sprints Championship and our Wednesday Championship. We will be throwing out one or two fun events as well throughout the next few months, the likes of a Sunday Porsche Cup race, and a few Sundays after there might be a GT2 race or something like that, just to kind of mix it up a little bit as well. Other than that, then it's all about then getting some team events going and our team going racing between iRacing and of course ACC. So I'm just going to do what I normally do. I'm just going to get the drone cam and make sure it's not locked on anybody. And I'll go up to the top here where everybody is, and I'm going to run through the grid. But before I do that, I want to make my life easier if I can, and it's not letting me because this game needs me to go out of that view, if I remember right, to be able to do what I want to do. There we go. So I just want to get my actual names right on these cars. I'm going to start off in P1, and then I can see down to 23 there. I just want to make sure of everyone's name because I'm not going to remember everybody's name. Let's be honest about that. So yeah, we'll go through all the cars now and give them a little bit of a shout out. So we're going to start off with the pole sitter, of course, Audrey Porkshop there in the Ferrari. Gets a beautiful pole, and then we've got Pavlov in P2 in the Ford. I actually like that livery as well. Of course, our own driver Morris Boutin is in P3. Alongside him is Chris Vining in P4. Then we have Giuseppe Castellano in P5. Then we've got Ryan O'Sullivan in P6, but unfortunately his livery isn't up there. I'm sure they'll get that rectified for the next one. P7 then is Sinzik, with then in P8 then we've got Spatuzzi, my favourite name in racing at the minute. Then in P9 we have Fantozzi. Do you know what, there's some great names. Fantozzi there in P9 in the 771 car. Then we have, of course, John Dudley in the Nissan GTR and the Repsol liveried car as well. Then we have, of course, the most handsome man in sim racing, Liam Smit in P11. And beside him then is Nestrov in P12. Then we have Roshi in P13, another one for the M4R Squadra racing team. P14 is Aaron Holloway. He was a champ in the Pro-Ams and nearly got himself a championship in the Pros last season. Drove out of his hat. Has a bit of work to do this evening to start off his championship in the right direction. I'm sure he will be able to do so. Then we've got a return of the mysterious Jack Holden. It's been quite a while to see Jack racing in any league race, so great to see him back in, and 2ID, I'm sure they're lucky to have him. Then we have with Finlay Gamble, who's actually, some say he's better than Matty Gamble, because Matty Gamble's going around in his Bora now, smoking around all the schools, trying to pull the young ones nowadays. But we'll surely see Matty back at some stage. Then we have Dominic Geese, the German, the man, the myth, the legend, Untalented Motorsport 101. And he is in then P17 with Nathan Warren alongside him in P18 for our Supercharged Motorsport team. Of course, Morris Boutin's teammate. Then we have Stuart Pryor on P19 there in the Aston Martin F1 liveried Aston Martin, funnily enough. Then we have M. Costa in P20. Then we have Gregorian in P21, and I'm probably going to miss that car tonight, it's that dark. Then we have Kripsezi in P22. I'll never get it right. I know he said it to me the other day. I didn't get it right. Then we've got Augusto Jr. in P23. In P24, we have Conway. Then in P25, we have Rotato Roman. I'm going to say it like that. Then we have the Polycots in a row. Let me just get that beautiful there. So we've got Chris and Andy Polycott there. Of course, Andy is slightly ahead of Chris on the grid this evening. Then we have our boy Liam Smit next Then we have Anonymous Rat. Then we have Gilahardry for M4 Corsa. Then we have Stanek next. Then we have Terry Dunn. Then we have Veronese. And then Anthony Ferrante. And I actually can't believe I've gotten that done with 30 seconds to go. So that is your grid for this evening's race. You'll see them all starting up there now. I'm going to try and get my camera back working the way it should be working. By just doing a quick jump and then that. No, it's not working the way I planned it at all, of course. Never does. There we go. So we are about to get going for this 90-minute race. Seats back, popcorn ready for some great action. Of course, double pens for lap 1, so drivers will not want to be getting involved with incidents, especially on lap 1, because it's going to cost you a lot of time. I'm going to do my best to keep on where all the action is. All I can do is my very best. Any spins, crashes or replays, I will do my best to get everything in there as well. But I am only one man broadcasting and comms, so I'll, as I say, do all I can, and that's a sight for sore eyes there. 34 purebred racers ready to get going. And will the American muscle outdo the absolute finesse of the Ferrari? We'll go on this camera for this race start. And any second we're going to get going, and there we go, the green light's out, so away we go. Porkashov does hold on to the lead at the minute, but we can see then that Pavlov does have a bit of horsepower. Morris Bhutan's going to be inside, I think. He's blocking off one of the cars behind. So far, that's lovely racing through turn 1. Behind though, there is some incidents. Morris Bhutan got by. Let me see who's involved. Okay, so we've got Rossi just ready. So Liam Smit seems to have gotten through a lot of that. Glenn Smith is at the back of that grid. I don't know what happened, Glenn, there. Then we've got Roman, Ferrante, Stanek. So it seems Glenn came out the worst of all of that. Conway, though, has gotten up by Dominic East now up into P18. But, yeah, that seems a bit hectic. We'll wait for a lap or two till it calms down. Let's see through the replays, did we catch all of that there? As it looks like Morris Bhutan has lost a few positions. Oh! Just being a bit of argy-bargy there. I don't know what's been going on. I'm sure the stewards will be busy with this one here, as already quite a few incidents in. So Morris back by Spatuzzi for now. Ryan O'Sullivan then down behind them. Then you got Sinzik, Nestrov, John Dudley surviving, Aaron Holloway surviving, Lindley Gamble surviving, Costa already as well. Nestrov and Sinzik absolutely on it there, swapping positions. Ryan O'Sullivan is in the pits already. Is he serving one of his pit stops now just to get out of this madness, I wonder? That would probably not be a bad idea to get into free air as well. That could be a very, very, very smart move from Ryan O'Sullivan. Let's see how that one does go. Also in the pits is Dominic Geese, possibly doing the same thing, getting out of this madness. So Sinzik there, doing a good job. Porkashov though, 1.1 seconds clear. We're going to stay away from that as John Dudley and Sinzik here having a good battle, and Dudley seems to have gotten around the outside, but Sinzik's only 0.2 of a second off. We've got Grogan and Costa side by side just behind them as well. Finley Gamble just ahead of those, and these are going to stay side by side into the next corner. It looks like Costa does have to let off eventually, just doesn't have the pace. Although the Ferrari goes quite wide, bringing Costa straight back into it. The Ferrari holding the better line through that. And we'll come back then further. You got Rocci, Augusto, Jack Holden there involved with these guys as well. And further back, we already see that Glenn Smith is up in P24. So it's all calmed down a bit now. Liam Smith down in P30 at the minute. Anthony Ferrante then just ahead of him. But it's all going up. Glenn Smith though, Terry going side by side. Glenn Smith trying to send it around the outside. Terry's holding the inside. What a move by Glenn if he can hold this one off. He's going to have the ideal line through, but I know two around this corner can be quite dodgy. Glenn's thought the better of it, but holds the inside line then. brakes a bit later. Terry's trying to switch back there, but Glenn, it looks like he's got that move done there. So fair play to him. Stanek then right behind them as well. Then Rat and Polycott are at it. Castellano's now in the pits. I was wondering what was going on. There was loads of people swapping places there. Terry Dunn's just had a moment. We'll go back and try and get that on the stream. So Terry Dunn must have got the care of that there, did he? Yes, he did. And unfortunately for him, that snap just gone. He done well not to cause any problems for anybody else, to be fair. But unfortunately for him, he's past the pit lane, which is going to hurt him a little bit. So Rossi in the pits there with some damage as well. At least the pit lane doesn't have a time limit on it. But Spatuzzi doing a great job there, but Nestrov just behind him. Then there is a gap then to John Dudley. Then Sinzica's a bit of a gap then behind John. Then behind it's Aaron Holloway, Finley Gamble, Gregorian, Warren, Fatuzzi, Costa, Holden, Augusto, Conway down in a nice little train there as well. Action packed is all I can say to start this race. Trying to dissect it all is the hardest part here. Andy Polycott as well down there with Ferrante. You'll see the numbers beside the name, so you're going to see the name, the manufacturer of the car, the race number, and then you'll see in the amber 2 and 1. That's your pit stops. You'll see 2, then 1. When they do their first stop, they'll have 1 left, and then when they have none left, that will go to green. So good stuff there as Polycott gets by Ferrante there as well. Cripsesi and Veronese are pretty much side by side there as well. Cripsesi going for the switchback. There is damage on his Nissan as well, and he's after making a lovely move there with the switchback. Entitled to that line there. He gives room on the outside for the Lambo, but the Lambo tries to overstick it. That's great driving there from Cripsesi. Back to Anonymous Rat here now. He is under a bit of pressure from Giuseppe Castellano, who is out of place. Pryor, Glenn Smith and Polycott there as well, and Anonymous Rat I think just thinks the better of it and gets done, gets by there as well. So that's good stuff there from them. He has Pryor then right behind him. Up further, there's no within that kind of gap, so I'm going to stay on here with Pryor as he is going to go side by side. Is he going to hold on the inside? He is. That's a beautiful move there. And to be fair, I think Anonymous Rat has done that in a good position there, as it looks like Nathan Warren's being overtook by Fantozzi. And done a great job there. Let's go back 15 seconds and see that one as he hangs it around the outside of Nathan Warren and then gets the room given. And that was just a textbook lovely manoeuvre. Fair play to him. It's what we like to see. Now in the timing screens there, once this replay goes, I can see Jack Holden has now got by Nathan Warren as well. Conway has lost quite a few positions as he's gone for the scenic route through the corner there. Oh, and is that Giuseppe Castellano? What happened to him? What's that happened before that? So Giuseppe Castellano. Oh. Radar, guys, radar. Nestrov though in P6. Hello Aces, how are you doing? So we've got Sergei Nestrov there in P6 and he's chasing down Spatuzzi. And Spatuzzi though will give it all he can. Gregorian as well back further, trying to get on top of Finley Gamble. Anonymous Rat and Glenn Smith side by side though, while this is all going on. Glenn Smith though looking to get the job done, being a little bit on the aggressive side. And Anonymous Rat thinks the better of it. They are on different splits, which is the fairer thing to do. And that is a swap for position. Then a swap for track position there is Gilhardry and Chris Polycott. Gilhardry for M4 gets by Chris Polycott there. And nice move from him. Then behind that, so Chris Polycott, Stanek, Conway, Roman, Cripsesi then behind. Then there's a gap of 4.6 seconds to Terry Dunn. As Veronese has had a moment there as well. What's happened there? Has he just got in too hot? Lost it on the exit of the car, got a bit of damage with it as well. That is just very unlucky, but at least he held his foot on the brake and gets away with it there. So we still have all the 34 cars going, which is nice to see at the minute. And the Christine Rocky there coming out of the last corner. Yeah, mate, I'm doing very, very good. Just the start, of course, of our new season here this evening on Wednesday Championship. And looking quite healthy out there with some top class drivers in as usual. So Jack Holden and Gregorian has got by Finley Gamble, of course. Finley Gamble is racing with Gregorian for position, as this is essentially P1 of the Pro-Am split. So Finley Gamble, Gregorian going side by side with Costa and Warren racing for position right behind him there as well. Although Warren looking for a tow, as is Finley Gamble. Finley Gamble's not really getting that towed in the same machinery. Interesting. I'm going to jump on with Holloway and Szynczyk as well, as they're pretty much side by side they were. And Aaron Holloway has not got by. He's trying to dissect and get a move by. Back further, Terry Dunn is after letting Dominic East by it looks of it there. Of course, Terry Dunn is carrying quite a bit of damage. I'm surprised he hasn't pitted early and used up one of his pit stops to get this done. And yeah, it's nice to see a good few people in racing. Of course, we are missing actually at the minute 15 drivers, so there is a few still away on holiday, so we would be a little bit fuller if it wasn't for that. But Conway now, after losing out to Kripsezi there and for Roman, so he will be looking to try to get back into it there. Verzerone is in the pits there, and so Liam Smit is after getting by there. Nestrov and Spatuzzi still kind of in around the 3/10 of a second marker at the minute. I think this is going to stabilise out a little bit, possibly relax for a bit and try and move forward, as it looks like we've had a disconnect from somebody running up in about P7 or 8. I don't know who that was there. Excuse me. Hopefully they'll be able to rejoin and get back into it. So Roman there has dropped down, as I stated. Nestrov still there. So Jack Holden and Fantuzzi. This will be quite interesting. What can Jack do to move forward and get ahead with this one? I'm sure he's going to try everything in his power to do so as well. But that worked out well for Holden. It's worked and he's got by. So well done to Holden. Right, jump back on with this. So Holden's got that move done back further. Glenn Smith and Pryor. Glenn has got the job done there. Sorry I missed that off stream, Glenn. And back further, Chris Polycott is in the pits there now. Ryan O'Sullivan, of course, pitting quite early on in this race. I think to avoid a little bit of incidents now is running in P24, but will be improving absolutely with the pace. Yeah, no, he somehow kept it going there as Roman kept the foot on the brakes and gets to get going again. Ryan, I nearly absolutely jinxed the life out of you. I'm sorry, mate. So Kripsezi here is doing a great run of things here. Stanek down ahead of Kripsezi. Whether he's going to be able to keep him behind for much longer, we don't know, because Kripsezi is of course racing in a different split and does have a bit of pace as well to go with that. So it'll be interesting to see. Giuseppe Castellano back out on P22, of course, after that unfortunate incident. But is back going. Morris Blutan now is starting to actually pull into Chris Vining. Great to see Chris Vining back. It's been a few seasons since we've seen him in, if I remember right. So nice to see a lot of returning drivers. Of course, I've gotten a few reasons as to why. Mario Costa doing a lovely job coming up as well, looking to try get by Fantozzi. So Mario Costa with Bruno Fantozzi side by side. Costa gets the job done, and Fantozzi tucks in right behind, but not too far off either. He's got Augusto Jr. just behind Finley Gamble. You've got Glenn Smith and Nathan Moore on there swapping positions. I don't think Nathan fought that one too much. So Glenn is on a recovery as well. So Augusto Jr. has got by Fantozzi there now as well. So it's just so much action happening. I'm trying my best to keep on top of it all there. Just back further while we're watching this here. And Fantozzi looking for a way by Jack Holden and Grigori. What happened, Jack Holden there? Jack seemed to have lost it on his own, unfortunately, but he's still in a good position. Oh, the curve. You know what? That's happened, I think, was all at some stage. And I wouldn't let that dishearten him too much anyway. He is back going now, which is good to see. Morris Booton is still holding on to P3. Finley Gamble lets his good friend, of course, Glenn Goder in different splits, so makes no odds to be defending that. So Glenn now is after Fanposi next as Pryor gets by Nathan Moran. Nathan struggling at this phase of the race. Wonder that might suit him better to get into the pits, get a pit stop done and get into clean air, but then again you don't want to fall too far back to where you're getting blue flagged as well. It's kind of one of those tough situations as we're now nearly 14 minutes, nearly 15 minutes into this race here. So it looks like Liam Smit though is eyeing up going Fantosi. Can he go around the outside? He's going to try. Fantosi though defending very fair. That's lovely racing from both of them to get to go another go. That's what it's all about. Giuseppe Castellano is starting to come back up through the field a bit. That's Verosa behind. Then we've got Dominic Geese looking to make a move on Polycott soon. Dominic recovering up as well. Cripsesi is still looking to push forward at the minute. Gregorians, after losing quite a few positions there, they must have had a moment which I did miss off camera, and that looks like Finley Gamble's after getting by Gregorian. Possibly Stuart Pryor was thinking about, oh, Finley Gamble's got that wrong. Finley doesn't want to be doing that too often there. That's put him down now to P16 if he can get back onto the track. Costa lost it just as we said that. Let's see what happened. Costa, I lost it before that, so that had nothing to do with Finley. Vibe Zone, says Yuri Andretti. Nice to have you into the stream, Yuri. We'll jump on with Berzoni for you now in a second. I'm gonna ruin his name. Or Vincenzo, sorry, Vibe Vincenzo. Who's Vincenzo? Which one is Vincenzo? Ah, Spatuzzi. Do you know what we'll do just for you as we're coming around to the main straight? We're gonna do a full on board lap just for you, Yuri, with Vincenzo Spatuzzi. And I will ruin his name, but in the best meaning way possible. Oh no, we've just passed it, so we'll do a hot lap up next lap round. Back on with Morris Boutan here. Morris Boutan is now 0.6 of a second off P3. Putting on the pressure there. Both of them in the front engine cars able to take those curbs a bit better than the mid-engines or the Porker here this evening. There's Anonymous Rat and Nathan Warren swap position. So Nathan Warren definitely not having the best distance at the minute, dropping positions. Rhino, so oh my god, what's happened here? So Rhino Sullivan, Cripsesi side by side. Oh, Cripsesi and O'Sullivan come together. Wow. That was unbelievably tough look there. And the stewards, I'm sure, will look at that afterwards, but oh, was that an intentional takeout? Yeah, the Ferrari had no reason to do that. We'll be looking at that afterwards. That was absolutely disgraceful to see that, because there was no reason for that move at all. So we'll see how that goes later on. Now we'll get back into it now. So sorry about that. So Glenn Smith is just off Augusto Jr. He is now just about to get by Augusto Jr. What a move by Glenn there. Straight up the inside he goes there. That was lovely, lovely driving there. And back up in the P9 he goes. Augusto Jr. doing a great job though in the split, is leading the split from Gregorian. Stuart Pryor, of course, in Pro. Anonymous Rat then just behind them as well. So then Nathan Warren is P14 and not too far off. Let me see here now. So Roman now is just ahead. Yeah, so he's still going anyway. So Liam Smit still going strong. He is in P27. Finley Gamble and Fantuzzi actually side by side though. What am I doing? Finley Gamble looking to get the move done. And Fantuzzi sticking with him like that's super close racing. Is he going to try it down the inside? He is. If this works out, that's a lovely, lovely job. Finley Gamble's going for the switchback though, but Fantuzzi seems to carry more speed through, and away he goes with that one. And we're looking at this, his teammate behind, so Finley's teammate Jack Holden also getting into position there as well. Absolutely unbelievable stuff out of them guys. Let me see what else is going on here now. So Conway is 0.8 of a second off Krupsezi. Polycott's 0.9 of a second off Stanek behind, and it is kind of spread out behind, including pit stops in it there as well. Bhutan is getting close to Chris Vining, but also Nestrov is actually looking to get involved as well. As we are now, 20 minutes into this 90-minute race. And still anybody's. Gregorian though and Augusto all over at the minute. Gregorian there. Beautiful driving there from both of them. Bhutan and Nestrov kind of spread back out a little bit. Nathan Warren, Anonymous Rat and Stuart Pryor are about a second splitting those at the minute. Then just ahead is Augusto and Gregorian now. This time round though, Gregorian I think does a much nicer line. Just trying to hang around the outside. I was expecting a bit of a switch back there, and it just didn't work out from doing it like that this time around, unfortunately for him. So it'll be interesting to see next time how he goes about that. But on there with Franciso, we'll go on with him for the onboard. And I'll get a quick drink for my throat after that crazy 20 minutes. So as that's going on, we're going to jump back on out Morris Bhutan, as he is now 0.4 of a second behind Nestrov there now, and he is doing a decent job. Gregorian and Augusto still at it there. Anonymous Rat and Pryor are swapping positions as well, as Anonymous gets himself up into P12. Pryor then just behind with Nathan Moran. Back further down, Andy Polycott's 0.3 of a second off Stanek. And then behind him there, Anthony Frante, who's in the pits there, P31. Terry Dunn should get by him. Anthony going down into last position for now. Gregorian, though, is super close to Augusto, so it'll be interesting to see how that does play out. So Morris Bhutan is still there as well. I'm going to jump back though to actually look at Dominic Geese in P21. So he's only one stop left. So a lot of the drivers ahead though, don't forget, have done no stops. So the likes of Dominic Geese and others will have that bit of advantage later on in the race as the pit stops go through, and you'll see them starting to climb back up positions as well with the early pit stops. So we'll see how that does go. See here. So Stuart Pryor though, an anonymous rat, that's not giving up on that one. So it'll be interesting to see. And let's see, can he push it on though? Anonymous rat was having a really good race. I know he hasn't. I think I'm pretty sure he said to me he hasn't raced in quite a while. So this is very interesting. But Pryor as well, top class driver in that car. Morris Bhutan though, we'll jump back on with him. He's kind of hinting at trying to get an overtake done, but just hasn't got there quite yet. So we'll see how that does go. Yeah, looking back further, Pryor still there. Gregorian. Oh, that's Augusto is in the pits. Roman and Castellano are at it there, but I do feel that's just Seppi getting by there. So Augusto is in the pits now at the minute. He will be feeling that one. Pryor though has Fantozi just right behind now as well, so that's going to be quite a tough one to hold off because he's trying to fight the guy ahead, but now has to be looking behind him as they actually are pretty much the same gaps as well. So that's quite tough there for him. Morris has kind of dropped off to a second, so Morris will be back to you later on. Glenn Smith's about 4.9 seconds off Aaron Holloway. Aaron Holloway is a supercharged motorsport driver, but he's super excited about his livery, hence he is using that one here with his new Era Williams livery. Of course, he raced the 1991 Williams livery I done from last season, and the season before actually, if I remember correctly. So he's carried it for a few seasons and fancied a new change, so that's his creation. And doing a stellar job out there, Aaron, well done. Going back to Stuart and Anonymous, it's kind of still in and around the same. Conway and Kupsezi there will be an interesting battle to watch as it develops through as well. Okay, and then Jack Holden as well is starting to push forward as well to Finley Gamble. So let's see how he goes on with that one as well. And he gets the job done, so Finley doesn't hold up Jack at all. Of course, being in teammates does help quite a bit here when you are racing in different splits as well, like not being held up too much. And Fantuzzi is actually making much more ground on Pryor than Pryor is on Rath. So that'll be quite an interesting one to see. Now Nestrov as well is catching Chris Fining, and Morris Bhutan is right there, so Morris can actually sit back a little bit and let these guys fight, and that'll come to them as well. So that'll be an interesting one to see. Can they get anything done on that one? But we'll see. Then Gregorian is there with Fantuzzi and Pryor ahead, as my little niece in the background is crying out family over, so apologies there with that. Then we have Conway then in P18 there, half a second off Kupsezi. Going down to the penultimate corner. And we're nearly 30 minutes into this 90-minute race, so 16 minutes left to go, pretty much. And that's cost that into the pits, so that's, I think, his first pit stop as well, so he bladed that. I think nobody has done. Okay, Anthony Ferrante is going into the pits now. possibly for his first one, as Costa now has served one of his pit stops. Nestrov there is running P4 and is super close now to Chris Vining. I do feel that any minute this could change hands, as he's pulling in tenths of a second nearly by the corner now. I wonder, is Chris maybe finding a bit of graining at this time, or what it is? So he has the toe here. Is he going to be able to? I just don't think he's going to have the that Mercedes grunt is just going to be too much for him. So there's not much he can do there. Going back onto the prior Fantosi battle with an anonymous rat as well. Pryor going for a different line, Rat on a much more defensive line. Oh, Rat's actually gone into the pits just as I seen that there, so never mind what I just said. Short the comms now. Back on with Conway and Cripsezi. Conway now, this is probably his best chance, as it looks like Cripsezi's going into the pits anyway. So that's absolutely fine for him. So Conway, quite a few people starting to jump into the pits. Back on with Nestrov here and Vining. Nestrov running 3 of a second off Vining. Then we've got Morris Bhutan, who is 1.5 seconds off that. So Bhutan's definitely after relaxing it a little bit. It's an optimal track, 18 degrees. No look of rain just yet. I think a lot of people are expecting it to rain, and so far it's looking like there's not going to be a bit of rain. Now it's quite cloudy, so it could develop into rain near the end of the race, and that could be quite an interesting curveball come the end of this race as well. So let's see now, as Nestrov still doing what he can, which is not enough at the minute. Runs quite wide. All over him in the braking, but now you're going to see this Mercedes pull away. So the Marcus has the pace. Porkashov is now into the pits there, so our race leader is into the pits. Pavlov now takes over the lead there in the Ford. Sounds absolutely awesome, that car. Although the lights don't make sense to me, the way the LEDs can be that much light, which never made sense to me with the Ford Mustang, but it does look absolutely angry and awesome. So I won't worry about that too much. So Nestrov is still there. Morris Bhutan's right on top of these now as well. So Morris right there with it after that bit of traffic. Looking at that, Pryor is now going into the pits as well, so Findley's after going by there. Gregorian is looking to get up to Krzyzewski still, but still no cigar. Anthony Ferrantes, and he's got one of the pit stops done now, as he is letting one of the 2 ID cars go by. Dominic Geese up into P14, and of course he's done one of the stops. There's still quite a few cars ahead of Dominic that's done stops, so essentially Dominic Geese really is travelling a bit further up the grill, although he is kind of starting to catch a bit of traffic. He's 7 seconds though to his next car, so it shouldn't be too bad, as Pryor comes out just behind Stanek, it seems. Yes, and then Anonymous Rat then is just behind them. Further at the minute, let me see. Liam Smit now is up into P21, and in split he's what? Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So not doing a bad job. 5th actually, because Pryor isn't in that. So that's quite interesting as well. So Liam Smith's still doing a great job in the split, getting the points in, and this is what it's all about. Pryor though and Stanek in the same machinery. Rare to see 2 Astons on a track these days. And be interesting to see how that does go. But at the minute, Pryor is kind of stuck after his pit stop. He does need to try and clear these and not lose too much time. Of course, he will be on fresh tyres as well. Okay, and still no cigar there, so I'm going to jump on with Jack Holden, who is, after coming back up through the grid now, is on the back of Fantosi there. And Jack Holden for the 2ID racing team, 0.4 of a second off Fantosi now at the minute, doing a phenomenal job. Lap time is looking quite nice as well. He's definitely faster at this stage of the race. Of course, both of them are yet to pit. He is lapping though a second faster than Fantosi at present, so if he keeps on this kind of pace, will be quite interesting to see. Nestrov and Booten still fighting along there with Fining. As the hard man John Dudley goes into the pits in his Nissan. Glenn Smit and Aaron Holloway then move up from P8 and P9 respectively, and then Porkishoff there, who was the race leader, is now in P8, and Porkishoff's fastest lap of the race is a 40.450, which is unbelievable, and that's in race trim. Nestrov is closest to him in terms of overall fastest lap of 140.897. I don't think anybody else is in the 140s. Everybody else low 141s. Pavlov at 141.077 in terms of overall fastest lap. So absolutely interesting. Dudley now leaving the pits. Andy Polycott possibly might get by Dudley. He does indeed. The Stanek though should come out behind, although side by side is going to be Dudley. He was not to fully cross that white line and he didn't, so fair play to John. He comes out ahead of this battle. But Stuart Pryor though might get his little bit of a move in there as well, and Pryor and Stanek are side by side, and of course the camera goes at the wrong time. Let's go to this camera here, as yeah, Pryor has got the job done on Stanek there. Probably a little bit of a thanks to Duds, I'm sure. Pryor is not giving up, or sorry, Stanek is not giving up though, and is right there with him. Back on ahead then, Finley Gamble starting to catch Conway as well, both of them on the same lap as well. Although Finley Gamble is down after that bit of an off he had, so he won't be exactly where he should be. Look at Glenn Smit though, all over the back of Aaron Holloway now. And this is now 53 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Aaron and Glenn, two very good drivers. And I'm quite friendly with them both. Of course, Aaron is an admin here in Supercharged Motorsport and is a steward. But of course, if he's ever in an incident, he's not allowed involved or near it. And it's done by myself. So there'll never be that crossover as well, thank God. But yeah, good driving from these so far. Jack Holden as well with Fantosi this time round. Definitely a little bit closer. I think Jack is running, I'd say slightly more wing with the way he's catching through the corners. Then again, it could be the driving style as well, and whatever else in between. There's Liam Smit. Gets by Galahad, it looks like. So let's see how that was done. Galahad gets the corner wrong. Liam gets by and luckily avoids any contact, and away he goes. So he was saying thank you very much. Anonymous Rat is under a little bit of pressure, supposed to try and get by Stanek and keep up with Pryor in terms of fighting for that overall position, even though they're not actually in the same split. Just having that good bit of a battle as well, I think, is always quite important. As Booten's after dropping off the Nestrov and Vining racing here, is kind of just a no man's land. Possibly saving tyres to go, but you'd expect once it gets to about the 45th minute, we'll start to see these top guys coming in and just getting that lap or the pit stop done, and possibly even a lap later for the next pit stop, or waiting until the last 5 minutes to get it done, depending, just in case there is an incident. It's possibly good to have that bit in the bag so it's not causing you an extra stop. Everybody does it different, which is cool as well, and what I like about some racing. You see some different tactics, different driving styles, different setups and everything else in between as well, and of course deliveries. As we are on here with Roman at the minute, he's not really getting anywhere, so we'll jump back on now with Rocci there. Christian doing a good job there. And Gilhardry up next from him, and that looks like it's going to be an easy let teammate boy job. Back on then with Glenn Smith and Holloway. Down to 0.3 of a second here now. Two different lines there. Looks like Glenn's able to get the traction in the mid-engine that little bit better than the Porsche, which I'm surprised that Aaron takes a much wider line than Glenn's tighter line, and Glenn doesn't lose any time, which is very, very intriguing to see how he's able to do that. Maybe he just opens up and gets away with it. Aaron though running quite wide as well, using every bit of track to keep Glenn behind. He's definitely giving everything out there at the minute. Glenn absolutely on it there now. Nestrov still kind of sitting and finding no real place to go. Fantozzi though trying to stick with Jack Holden. Jack Holden looks like he's gone into the pits. Indeed he has. Dominic East now up into P13. At some stage the camera will catch up with him. And away he goes there now, so he should probably get himself up by Jack Holden, I would assume. Maybe I'm wrong, because Jack has been having some good pace. Oh, did he just lose that by himself there? It looked like the other car got close, but I would not ever say that the other car hit him. I could be wrong. The car did hit him. Wow. Was that wee Finley? Oh, I think that was wee Finley. So that's Dominic now down a few positions, although still in P12, so he didn't lose too much. Glenn Smith down, Aaron Holloway side by side. This is elbows out stuff here. Glenn has the slightly better line for this phase. Aaron though, if he's able to hold it, will have a tighter line, so Glenn's gonna just try send it. He's not gonna go for the switchback. Glenn is going for this, and there is no giving up here. Aaron Holloway is slightly ahead though. Glenn gets a much better drive though. This is good stuff. Aaron on the inside, Glenn on the outside. Glenn's going to try and carry more speed through. Glenn's going to run it wide here. It looks like Glenn might just have enough of a drive. No, it is just a drag race the whole way down. Aaron Holloway, Glenn. Oh, bit of a door rub. Both of them get going again. They were both running it tight there, to be fair. That was good driving from both of them, to be fair, up until that point. Of course, these rubs do happen, but that'll be mapped off as a bit of a racing incident there due to the corner and the nature of the angle of it. Looking back further, Anonymous Rat and Stanek. Anonymous Rat has got a tug from behind. A bit of a moment there, but away they're all back going. That was Chris Polycott wasn't involved with that one, and Roman right there as well. Hardly coming out of the pits. So Andy Polycott now in P14 doing a very, very good job. He's got Dudley ahead of him, and then he has Poyers behind him though. And these are racing for position. Well, Andy Polycott actually hasn't pitted yet, the other guys have, so that's going to put him down, but he's still looking in the top 10. Although, as I say, that Nestrov is in the pits, but it looks like nearly everyone in the top 10 except for Porkashov, who did come out of the lead and back down into P7, have all done the 4 stops. So Porkashov would surely be gaining this position here, along with Glenn and Aaron Holloway. And will Porkashov be held up much by these guys? That's going to be another thing, because they are in the same split. They don't have to just get out of the way. Porkashov is going to have to try and find a way through a battling Holloway and Glenn Smith. But in terms of times though, yeah, the guys in the 142s, Porkashov is in the 140s. So I would say this should be handy enough if it's 2-second deficit a lap, especially with fresh tyres. expect maybe Glenn and Aaron to go in this lap, or maybe Aaron then to bite the bullet if Glenn doesn't, as it would make sense for them to be pitting now anyway halfway through for a fresh set of rubber as Porkashov on the inside of Aaron. Doesn't get to go by this time round. Aaron needs to probably jump in this time round just to get out of this battle. Porkashov up the inside. Aaron's going to have to give the room now, unfortunately. There, that was quite tough racing there from both of them, but they've made it through. Aaron not happy though, but looks like the flashes on there with that Porsche. Aaron looking for the way back boy. So Aaron not happy at all and goes for the move back from Porkashov. Now if I was Glenn, this is the time to pit, and he does pit indeed. Porkashov goes wide, Holloway goes around. So what happened Porkashov there? He's a bit back from Holloway. Did he just have better speed through, or did he hit the curb? Hit the curb. Okay. So Liam Smit, I think, has done the smart move there. He's going to come out quite a bit ahead, I think, of Aaron once Aaron does pit. Glenn, of course, in with his teammate Liam. Very interesting. Oh, the cars are drowning out, are they? I'll just turn down the cars there. Sorry about that. Mr. Sparky, I hope you're keeping well, mate. I've been talking quiet anyway. Family over, and my niece is only, what, 9 or 10 months, so she's still quite young. So I'm trying to keep my voice down a little bit for that as well, to be fair with the family here. But yeah, hopefully you're having a good day and enjoying the action here this evening, as Porkashov is coming back up to Aaron Holloway now. Finlay Gamble and Liam Smit swap positions, but obviously Glenn coming out of the pits. Stanek is now in the pits, as is Anonymous Rat. Rossi then does get by and ahead. Anthony Ferrante is still doing a very good job. There's one more pit stop to do, is a few laps down, but you know, it's a learning curve, as I say, for him as well. So fair play to him. Yeah, mate, honestly, not doing too bad. Working hard, doing other things to try to develop this league and community that bit further through. And yeah, great having my family over. They're the family that live in France, don't get to see them too often, so absolutely delighted to have them across, which is always good. And family definitely first, so that's why I'm trying to keep my own voice down as much as I can. Normally I would be a little bit more animated than what I am, but you know, it is what it is. Jack Holden then in P15 is racing with M Costa, and he's only 0.3 of a second off. They're both one pit stop done, and they are racing, of course, for position, both being in the pro split. And as I say that, Jack Holden is really pushing on Costa here now. Side by side, Jack has the inside line but has to kind of scrub out of it. So is Jack going to try the switchback? It's worked for a lot of drivers here this evening, but this time round the Porsche just has the slightly better line through that, as we have Fantozzi, Conway, Finlay, Aaron all in the pits. Aaron the first to leave, but Liam Smit, yeah, is after putting quite a bit of time there on Aaron due to that pitting early as well. Has done massively. That overcut has worked out brilliant. So he's now, what, 3.4 seconds-ish clear. That's unbelievable. Actually, about 6 seconds clear. That's huge. Let me look at the pit times. There was 4 seconds difference as well. So Liam Smit's after definitely doing a good thing there. Gets the jump on Dudley as well. Of course, they're all fighting for position. So John Dudley, of course, in the Nissan, a new car for him, doing a phenomenal job. Of course, we didn't see him for a season or two, but it's good to have him back in, along with some other faces here this evening, which is what it's all about. So while all that's going on, Costa Finlay still in the pits there. Back up further, Pryor and Holloway are actually having a bit of a fight there. Holloway, of course, comes out just with Pryor right behind them. We've lost 1 degree of track temperature as well as 1 degree of air temperature as well. So it is starting to slowly cool down here this evening, as we are down past the halfway mark now at 41.5 minutes left to go. So great stuff there from everybody. And yeah, Pryor doing a great job. Kripsezi then is 0.2 of a second off Conway. So Kripsezi doing a great job there with Conway just behind. 0.3 of a second off. Nicely done through there as well. That's what we like to see. So while all that's going on, I'm just going to move that down a bit more, just to talk it a little bit lower. So I can hear the child crying a little bit in the background. And Stuart Pryor there is on 0.4 of a second there. And I think Aaron should have the pace on him. Looking at what Aaron's been doing most of the race, he just needs to settle back down and get back into it. And then once he does that, then he'll be absolutely flying it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get that done. Further down then, that's Rossi in the pits there as well. So Pryor still putting that pressure on Holloway, but not much to do. But as you can see on the screen there, Dominic East does not have to pit again. Rossi does not have to pit again. Costa does not have to pit again. Liam Smit does not have to pit again. And Anonymous Rat and Gregorian do not have to pit again. Everybody else still has one pit stop to go. As Voining comes out of the pits here now. Comes out in 4th position. Nestrov goes ahead. Wow, so Nestrov has got the move done on Voining somehow. I think Voining running that bit longer on the older tyres has killed him. The undercut has worked a treat for Nestrov. He is 2 seconds clear. Unbelievable. And Morris Bhutan is 2.1 seconds behind that as well. So Morris in P5 now. I don't know, is he going to have enough catch back up and to get by? Is he just kind of playing it easy at the minute? I'm not sure. But a lot of work to be done for him. Let's just Giuseppe Castellano loses spot coming out of the pits to get a Hardry. And I'm sure that'll swap back around once he gets closer being on the same team. So I won't worry too much about that. So, like, looking at the gap, Porkashov 22.4 second lead on Pavlov. So Pavlov definitely is doing kind of all he can do there. Porkashov is just lapping so much faster. Of course, Pavlov has only come out of the pits as well, so the last lap was quite a long lap. But yeah, Porkashov just definitely in a different level in terms of the race pace. Able to keep it consistent the whole way through, even with being stuck in traffic. So you can only imagine what that would have been like if he wasn't stuck in traffic there as well. Yeah, doing a great job. So Bhutan already is after pulling 1.1 seconds on Voining, even though Voining is pulling back in a Nestrov. So Bhutan maybe just doing it easy out lap, not overdriving it, and is now starting to put that pressure on there now as well. So this will be an interesting development to see how this actually does start progressing through. Dominic East is only 0.3 of a second off Kripsezi for P14 now. Oh, things better going up the inside there. Have to back out of it, and away he goes again. He'll be able to race and fight another day, being smart about that one. Costa then in P18 doing a great job, 0.7 of a second off Andy Policott. And of course with Costa it does not have to pit again either, so has that advantage over Policott and all the guys ahead. So that will be definitely something to keep looking at as well. So looking back further, no major close gaps kind of behind at the minute for now. Of course, till Gilhardra comes up, Dominic Keys is quite close. This is actually the closest battle on the track at the minute, so let's stick with this one for a minute or two there. Of course, Andy Polycat would like to be out of this battle and up the road a bit further, I'm sure. Away he goes. Nicely done there, Costa. That's a nice braking as well. He's catching up nicely in certain areas, but now 0.3 of a second off. Can't cost do it, and as you hear in the background, the noise of that Mustang right behind, making that glorious V8 noise. It's the sound of America. So Polycott definitely able to keep him behind for now. Dominic East, 0.3 of a second off Cripsesi again. I think this is the part of the track where the Nissan will struggle over the likes of the Lambo, Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren, being an older GT3 car. Of course, in a straight line, the Nissan is an absolute rocket ship. So while this is happening, this is now down to 0.1 of a second. And Jack Holden as well, looking to go for a move on Pryor. So there's actually 3 battles developing at the same time. I'll do my very, very best to keep in touch with this one. Geese and Cripsesi side by side. Geese on the inside. Cripsesi on the outside. Cripsesi gives up on that one. He's just... And they're letting Dominic go there. You could see he was just trying to back out of that one a bit by the looks of it. Maybe he was trying the undercut either, but to me it looked like he was getting out for a second. Maybe it was just trying to get the cut back set up. Holden was trying to swing it around Mr. Pryor, and then has to just kind of sit back behind him. Wait, only 0.2 of a second off there now. Costa is still behind Polycott while all this is going on, so we'll keep on with the action. Jack Holden is putting the pressure on big time. Pryor though, Holden definitely getting a much better exit there, side by side though. Oh, Pryor giving the squeeze. Holden not phased whatsoever. Sticks his line and sticks with his gut, and is still going to keep pushing for it as well. Jack is literally just doing all he can do. Oh, has to go heavy on the brakes there for a second. Oh, he now is entitled to room. I think Pryor knows that now. And Jack gets by, and Jack was giving him plenty of room on the outside as well. Lovely move by Jack, lovely pressure, but also phenomenal driving from both Holden and Jack there. Did not try and cut across each other or be super aggressive. They left just enough room, which is fair. But Pryor had got out of that move knowing that 2 doesn't really go around that corner. So that was very good driving there from them. Morris Bhutan now is about 0.7 of a second off Chris Vining now. And this is starting to develop into quite a nice battle now for P4 with 33 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock left in this race. Liam Smit up for a battle now, flashing lights on with Stanek. Liam is just saying get out of my way, I'm faster. Of course Liam doesn't have another pit stop to do, so this will be interesting. Does Stanek just bow out of the way, or does he make Liam fight for it? The race keeps developing. So Liam 0.4 of a second, going back up now to Costa, still there with Polycott, but just not able to get by as of yet. And of course Morris Bhutan as well right there, looking for a way by Vining, but just not able to get by. Back on Liam Smit as well, is doing his very best between himself and Stanek. Was Stanek given loads of room there? Liam though, not being too aggressive either, says right, we'll keep going for a bit longer, I'm not going to just throw it down the inside. It's Mario Costa now 0.3 of a second off Chris Polycott. And just kind of nowhere to go with that one either. Just kind of has to hold it off a little bit. Liam Smit though, still 0.3 of a second off. Bhutan 0.6 of a second off. Nothing else developing as of yet, waiting for more pit stops possibly to happen to change that around for us as well. So at the minute, not looking too bad in terms of still having battles at an hour nearly gone in this race. And we've started with 34, we are down to 30, so 4 people have disconnected. Or what I know why Ryan O'Sullivan's left, but I'm not sure what happened to the others. But I'm sure we will find out later on through the stewarding process as well. Stewarding though probably won't be done until Saturday evening with the new league on Friday as well. We normally used to do the Stewart on the Friday. We might just get it all done on the Saturday. We'll see how that goes, as there's quite a few incidents to get through. Right, so looking back on the Stanek now, and Liam Smit have swapped positions. Krupsezi's now in the pits also. Costa then in P17. Then Jack Holden is catching Aaron Holloway, actually. That's a bit of a shock to see after Jack having that incident as well. So interesting, to say the least. Jack Holden here is actually looking super strong in this race. And a great recovery in Kyalami here this evening in Supercharged Motorsports. And Morris Bhutan is still doing a good job. He's holding P5 at the minute off finding. Then Nestrov is kind of pulled out a little bit on those guys, but he is 6.5 seconds off Pavlov, and then Pavlov is now nearly 26 seconds off Audrey Parkishov, who's absolutely flying it. Back on Acosta now, and yeah, all they can do is just keep the pressure on Polycott, but Polycott is not cracking. Now I know at the same time he's being patient because of course the pit stops. Algorian coming out of the pits, it looks like there, and that's their last stop done. Terry Dunn has another stop to do. Anonymous Rat, no more stops to do as well. He's behind Krupsezi by about a 6/10 of a second, so not too shabby. Then we've got Costa in P17 kind of dropping off, so Holloway now is under proper pressure now from Jack Holden there. As we look here, Morris Bhutan still 0.5 a second off, but Jack Holden here is putting the pressure on Aaron, but Aaron seems to be absolutely lapping up that pressure and has not given in as of yet to anything, and is still going quite strong. So Aaron Holloway doing a very, 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 very good job here, and all you can do is hope for the best of this one. But Morris Bhutan, as I say, still in the battle there, but then we've got Costa, Rocky and Polycott now. So Costa kind of now has to really get the shoe out a little bit there, as he could be losing out here now to Rossi. Rossi has to hold back, so Costa needs to try and get by Polycock, because he's going to be losing actual position himself now on track with this one. Of course, Polycock has been moved up. Of course, we're actually missing Erta Musmenov tonight as well, I've noticed. And a few of the others. Chris Tedder will be back in. He's away for this week, so have happy holidays, Chris. And the same to our league admin, Slavin Go. We'll see him back next week. Have a great holiday, Slavin. Miss you all. So yeah, Rachi's still there with this battle here, but Jack Holden, Holloway now getting very, very close. Side by side. Porkishov's in the pits for the second time. Holden and Holloway, 2 H's. This is nice fair racing between both of them. Holden holding the outside line, drops back a little bit, trying to show the inside to Aaron there. Aaron's not giving up at all. And nor does he have to. That's the joys about racing. You don't have to be giving up this kind of stuff. Spatuzzi now, a name I haven't got to say for in a while, is now on a little charge now with Porchkov just coming out right ahead of him as well, of course. That is essentially the race leader there. Now all his pit stops done, sitting in P5. Morris Bhutan doing all he can do there in P4 to catch up with fighting. Essentially will be fighting for P4 on track, I suppose, by the time Porkishov does get by after the other pits. So if Morris can get by Vining, he'll be looking at a P4 finish unless something crazy happens. Jack Holden though is still doing all he can do, I suppose. He's just putting the pressure on, but Aaron's not cracking. Like, they're having a good fair race and side by side, nothing crazy. with just nowhere to go. Cripsesi, Castellano and Rat all in their own little bit of a battle now. Of course, out of position is Cripsesi and Castellano, as Conway goes into the pits. Then we've got Costa, Rocci and then Polycott then all fighting for position for P18, 17 and 16. And they've all actually pitted as well, so this is all legit pretty much. Holden and Holloway, it has happened. Let's go back and see. So it just happened just before that corner. My bad. Looking at all the other races, he got the move done. But that has been built up for a while. I think that's how you do it. You don't force the move to happen. It'll come over time. If you know there's 30 minutes left in a race, build up on it, build up on it, build up on it. It'll come to you. By forcing your way through, you're causing an incident, and it's never the right way to do it there, as Costa has... I think Conway's dropped back off there, actually. I don't know what's happened, Conway. Fantozzi is half a second off Stuart Pryor there, but Pryor, of course, looking ahead, he has one more pit stop to do, and yeah, I think this is a legit position as well, so he needs to keep Fantozzi behind. Aaron Holloway is sticking with Jack Holden though, all the same, and Maurice Boutin hasn't really changed too much in terms of gap with himself and Chris Vining. So that'll be interesting also to develop in the last 25 minutes of this race, as we are still at 17 degrees tracking air temperature, so we've only dropped one since the start of the race, so that's unbelievable. So it's not being too aggressive in terms of changeovers. Finley Gamble is now in the pits for the second time. Giuseppe Castellano here trying to put the pressure on Cripsesi, as Polycott, Chris Polycott, is in the pits as well. So Chris is doing all he can do as well there. Borkashov 15.1 seconds off Maurice Boutin, so at least he doesn't have too much in terms of overall on-track traffic. Anyone who'll come across within that gap, he'll be ahead of. So that'll be interesting to see. Liam Smit as well, I haven't really said much about him lately. He is in P18 as Pryor goes into the pits now for a second pit stop. Yeah, Liam Smit doing a great job there. P18, Nathan Warren has got by Finley Gamble, because I think Finley has come out of the pits there. Or did Finley get ahead of him? No. Yeah, no, he's right behind Nathan there. So this will be a race for position as well. Castellano has got by Cripsesi. Yeah, he has indeed. So Finley Gamble and then Nathan Warren next to be fighting for position with Finley. He's going up the inside, is he? Oh, he's being a bit too ambitious there, unfortunately. And ran Nathan off the track, but he can get back going and get going again as Dominic Geese comes out ahead now, as Pryor just comes out of the pits. So Pryor now out into P13, but that's his pit stops done. Of course, now is a stop go penalty though, coming out of the pits. Got the pit stop wrong, and yeah, that's going to hurt him a little bit, but probably not as much. Let's see. He might drop down to maybe P19, I'd say. I don't think he should drop much further than that, as he slows down to let the essential race leader boy Pavlov. Of course, Pavlov yet to pit for his second stop. Of course, it'll be a splash and dash this time around, just even to check there. So for the splash and dash, Porkshov actually put on full tyres. He went 32 seconds again. Porkshov went tyres and tyres again. So Porkshov having a bit of fun this evening, knowing he had that bit of a pace difference there. So interesting to see if Pavlov just literally does a splash and dash near the end. It may work out. Looking there at gap boys, so if I'm looking correctly, you've got 6.210. No, he won't have enough. Yeah. Even if you splash and dash, you're still talking about 35, 36 seconds. kind of from stop to start of the pits, because it's a long enough pit. Because you have to take it at the corner going in, kind of slows you down that bit more. But it'd be interesting to see Jack Holden though as prior as in the pits. Now let's see, does he go further than 19th back? I don't think he should. Then again, when's the comms ever right? Because I've yet to find the comms that's right, including myself. So Jack here is putting the pressure on John Dudley. He's only 0.2 second off Duds now. So I'm sure Duds will try everything to keep him behind, but Duds is a clever racer as well. I think these two should have a good battle here now. We're in for hopefully a bit of a treat. Spatuzzi's in the pits. So Glenn now moves up. So that's Spatuzzi pitting for the last time. So Glenn still yet to pit. Holden still has to pit. Dudley though has gone straight for the pits. Not going to lose time fighting. Dudley's decided, right, let's just get this done with now. So Aaron Holloway then is behind now. We're 2.6 seconds behind Jack Holden. So Spatuzzi and Dudley in the pits there. Pryor is P21 coming out of the pits. Wow, 40 for him. But he does have a chance then of fighting back for possibly P19th, as it's not too far up the road. Of course, he is out ahead of Gripselzi. So he's a hard guy to get around tonight. So he's lucky enough that he's got out ahead of him. So, oh, who was that disconnected? Someone disconnected there. I don't know who it was. Was it Fantanuzzi? Oh, he's still there. Someone's literally just after disconnecting. I don't know who that was. So we're down to 29. That was unfortunate because that was the disconnect from about P8, P9. Wasn't... No, Shaparder's there. Don't know who that was. Spatuzzi's there. Don't know who that was, but anyway, let's get back into this one. So Castellano on Anonymous Rat now, they're only 0.5 of a second off, and it's not Rat R-A-T, W-R-A-T, I-T-H, Wrath. I'll just say it like Rat. So just that be half a second off him there as well as we speak. And of course then Andy Polycott's kind of in P16, needs to do his pit stop again. Of course then looking in the top 10, Porkyshov and Dudley are the only ones that haven't. As I say that, the boy Aaron Holloway's in the pits for the last time this evening. Jack Holden going another lap. Glenn Smith's going for another few laps. Morris Bhutan going for another few. So I think Pavlov here has nothing to lose with just kind of doing his pit stop now and coming out and going on with it and see what he can do. I don't think he needs to stop for 32 seconds, so he should be fine. See, Aaron Holloway was stopped for 8 seconds. John Dudley was stopped for 8 seconds. Was there anyone faster? 7 seconds for Finlay Gamble. So yeah, they can just flash and dashing out there. A lot of people opted though, it looks like, to go for another set of tyres, which to me just doesn't make sense, to be honest. But anyway, Dominic East back up on the P12, of course, even with his hardships. Fair play to him. Gets by and gets the job done, which is the main thing. Nicely done there from Morris. Just looking at all of the other stats as we're going around here. I'll jump on with Rossi and Costa, as this is the closest battle on track at the minute. There is nobody else out there at this present moment in time that's within a second otherwise elsewhere. So we've got 17 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Optimum track, no chance of rain. What else could you want? It is looking quite good out there now. In terms of position, I'm just going to go through everything and give them a bit of airtime. So in P29, we have lost 5 cars. A few definite disconnects, 1 or 2 because of huge incidents. So we have Anthony Ferrante in P29. Then Fabio Gilhardri in P28. Chris Polycott in P27. Arsen Gregorian in P26. Juarez Augusto Jr. in P25. Thomas Stanek in P24. Finley Gamble in P23. Stuart Pryor in P22. Gabrielle Cripsezi in P21. Anonymous Wrath in P20. Then in P19 we have Giuseppe Castellano. P18 is Nathan Warren. P17 is Andy Polycott. And P16 is Liam Smit. So that's a great recovery from Liam. And in terms of Liam, he is looking like he is first in his split as well at the minute. So that's unbelievable for Liam to be starting off. Then we have Mark Conway in P15. Then we have Christian Rossi in P14. Mario Costa in P13. Dominic Giese in P12. Vincenzo Spatuzzi in P11. Given the flashers there. And then we've got Aaron Holloway in P10. John, Season 2 champ, I think it was, or Season 3. I think he was Season 2 champ in FFG, as we were previously known. Then we have Bruno Fantanozzi in P8. Then we've got Yak Holden, we call him Yak and not Jack, in P7. Then we just have beautiful, the most gorgeous, handsome man, Glenn Smith in P6. Then Audrey Porkashov currently running P5. Of course, everyone yet ahead of him does need to pit, so that should change soon enough. Maurice Boutin, should I say, in P4. Chris Foyning in P3. Sergei Nestrov in P2. And then our current race leader at this present moment in time in the Mustang is Konstantin Pavlov in P1. So that's a little rundown there for you on that one. I'm going to jump back on with Holloway. Actually, no, Rossi and Costa here, because it looks like there was a move done by Rossi going down the straight. But Costa not going anywhere. Oh my god, that's there's squeezing and then there's craziness. The boys need to calm the cracks. As Polycock goes into the pits, Anonymous Rat then goes by in P20. He's coming right up now to looks like Nathan Warren. So Nathan's under a bit of pressure now for P19. Jump back on with the Dudley Holloway battle, as that is definitely the closest on track at the minute. But Polycott now clearing his last pit stop as well, which is nice to see. Anyone who's watching, if you want to vote for driver of the day, give me a shout and we'll pop it into the chat afterwards who you vote the driver of the day. And leave a note in the comments as well after the race who you feel the driver of the day was here today. Of course, a few tough stories and hard luck stories, and then other triumphant stories. But for me, Liam Smit has, I think, won the hearts of everyone here this evening. Getting his split win, all going well. 13 minutes left to go. The lucky number, not and all jinxing Liam. But let's see what happens here. It was Rotato Roman game crashed. That's unlucky from him. That's annoying. So his game crashed there. So just letting him know that if he rejoins and crosses the line, his game crash, he'll still get points. So he can still rejoin and get across the line. Right, so let me jump into this here. So we've got Costa then, and P14 is catching up with Rocci. Then behind that, Nathan Warren, Rat, Cripsezi, all in a bit of a battle here, as Rat has got by Warren. As I talking away and typing away. Andy Polycott now feeds back into P23 after his pit stop. Lovely stuff there. I love seeing the Nissans out there as well. Do you know that? It's awesome to see that. So that's going to stay smooth. Going back to the Holloway and Dudley battle here as well. These two, of course, are well used to racing each other there. Dudley will not be easy to get by. Holloway is trying everything he can do. And of course, he said it was feeling good this evening, but I just think this evening it's just not been the race he was expecting, possibly as well. But he's been having a great race. Costa done a great job there as well. He's now just less than a second behind Rossi now. So it'll be interesting to see, can he do much in this. And away he goes. Now I think Rossi should be back in any minute. Yeah, he's in the pits and he's going to get back in and going after his disconnect. So at least he'll be able to get points, which is all that matters as well. All about getting the points. So Aaron Holloway, Costa all quite close, and Cripsezi is quite close down to Nathan, all within the half a second range. Fendi Gamble though looking to catch up to Stuart Pryor, although it's essentially different splits. Arsene Gregorian as well, 0.2 of a second off Augusto Jr. Has to back out of that one there. It's such a dark car. It's impossible to see it. So Chris Vining has finally pitted. So waiting on Pavlov, Nestor, Bhutan, Glenn, Jack and Fantozzi to pit as well, as if I can speak Italian. Aaron Holloway and Dudley are fighting quite close still on track. Costa spread out a bit more. Finley and Pryor's about half a second as well. Gregorian and Augusto swap positions there. How did that happen? Because that was quite quick. Must have been a moment here by Gregorian. Yeah, that was grand. At least it was safe enough in terms of how it happened and how he got by. So at least that's that. So Finley Gamble's caught up to Pryor quite alright. Cripsezi a little bit closer now. Jack Holden in the pits now as well. So where does Holden come out? Oh, Holden could lose out here. Did he get out just beside Dudley or behind Dudley? Holloway could have get to jump. Dudley though gets by. Aaron Holloway. Camera, don't do this to me. Aaron Holloway's got by Holden as well. Wow. How long was Holden stopped for? 13 seconds. He was 5 seconds longer. So probably fixing a little bit of damage. Holloway though is back under pressure from Jack on the inside. Aaron's not going to give this up. Oh, this is beautiful driving though from both of them. Jack now has the outside line. He's slightly ahead. Holloway taking the curb. Holden just gets out of it though. Great driving. This is what we love to see. Liam Smit in the pits there as well. So where does Dudley come out into this one? They're a bit away. Glenn's quite a bit away. So Glenn should be safe. Fantinozzi is coming up to the last corner now, and sure he still has to pit himself. He might go in the pit this time around. He doesn't. He's going another lap. Glenn's safely out clear of him anyway. So Glenn was able to pit and still come out ahead in P6. So great stuff from Glenn. I know he does love this track as well. Has Porkashov now up into P4. In the next 2 laps or so, the rest of them will go into the pits. It's just a matter of when. So Nathan's holding off Kripsezi at the minute. Kripsezi in a straight line, I'd say, is an absolute nuisance. And then you kind of get a little bit of a break when it comes to the corners. But that will be definitely on his mind there as Polycott is catching up to Pryor. And Pryor down. Do you know what? I think Pryor might. I think I might keep Pryor in the Pro-Ams, you know, looking at this pace-wise, I think it might be only fair for him. So I'll make that call after the race. I think it's only fair because pace-wise anyway, yeah, he's been in and around the Pro-Am kind of times. So Liam Smit, though, getting out ahead of Conway. Jack Holden is still there with Holloway. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Polycott and Pryor is still super, super, super close. Not going to change anything in terms of the actual overall outcome for the two of these at the minute, but so Polycott is in the same split now. He'd stay in the Pro. Polycott's in the same split as him. Aaron Holloway 1.1 seconds to the goal. No, he's less. I'll tell you one thing, he's catching Dudley slowly but surely again after Dudley getting by. Dudley has that bit of traffic, so this is their time to really utilise that traffic and get by. Now the leaders all need to pit, the top three need to pit, which will then promote Porkshov back to his rightful position, as Fantanozzi needs to pit also. So what I need to see now, will Morris Bhutan still be behind Vining, or will he come out ahead, as Bhutan is now in the pits? Well, Morris now has stopped. How long did he stop for? Engine off. 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds and going again. That was a nice stop. That's what Vining and Smith done as well. So where's Vining? Yeah, he's going to come out ahead of Morris there. Just ahead. By a second or two, so no, not too bad. So now it's down. Porkashov needs... Oh, Putin comes ahead of Vining by 3.2 seconds. That's huge. I was looking at Porkashov for some reason, and oh no, on my screen, no, Vining's there. It's just the game hasn't updated. I was wondering. So Vining is ahead by 1.5 seconds. Yeah, I was going mad there for a second. The game doesn't update as quick as my software. So yeah, I'd expect Pavlov and for Neslov to be in this lap as lap 50 in this 90-minute race. That's some good pace by these guys tonight. Holloway, Holden and Dudley in a little battle, although it's a battle I'm sure Holloway would not like to be in right now. I'm not sure if that's a sandwich anyone would ever dream about being in, a Dudley and Holden sandwich. But here we are as we come down to 2 minutes, and Pavlov and Nestrov are in the pits, so Porkashov surely coming around here to take back the lead that he hardly earned at the start of this race, and away he goes then into the lead again. And now Vining should be close to these guys. He's absolutely on it. Can he get himself onto a podium? I don't think so. I think Nestrov is out ahead, yeah. That was interesting just to see. So now we see that Fantanozzi is the cork in the bottle for this one. He needs to be in this lap as well, otherwise he is getting himself an in-game penalty that's going to hurt him big time. So Bruno needs to come in this lap. Can't be waiting any longer. Oh my god, what is he doing? Is he mental? Bruno, you're after hurting your own race big time, mate. I'm so sorry to say that, but that is not what you want. So there should be one more lap, so he might be safe that way. if he can get around and pit. Um, as Porkishov should make it around in time for one more lap, so he might be saved just by that. Oh my god, I wouldn't cut it that fine. I'll never forget it in season, I think 2 of our Wednesday series, and it was Chico Lindvar, who actually did not pit around Valencia, was winning quite comfortably. Could have pitted and still won, but never pitted. And ended up going from the lead to like P7 or 8 after 180 seconds. As the leader is on the final lap now, so Porkishov is now on the final lap. Holloway and Dudley though. Holloway looks like he's got by Dudley. Jack Holden looking as well to get up there by Dudley. Dudley not giving up, Holden on the inside though. So wow, Dudley in 2 corners lost as many positions there, unfortunately, but does have a lap to get it back. He wants now for Holden and Holloway to be fighting as hard as they can. But wow, still not giving up. Nathan Warren still fighting there with Anonymous Rat. There's a second between them. Anonymous taking a little bit more of the curb there than would have wanted. Dudley right there with Jack Holden as well, so Dudley's not giving up on either. They've one more lap of racing to go as we look at our race leader here now, coming up now into pretty much the last sector. So we're going to watch Porkishov come over the line to take their race win on season 1 of the Supercharged Motorsport Wednesday series, round 1, sorry, season 6, here in the Kyalami 90 minutes. Of course, I think next week it's Valencia sprints as well, which will be quite interesting. So going around the last corner here now is Audrey Porkishov, and a nice race win in the bat for them. As across the line to go, 9.2 seconds clear, and a lovely win from Porkishov there. Konstantin Pavlov coming around in P2. Nestrov then coming around in P3. Chris Vining coming around now in P4. Maurice Boutin just behind in P5. We'll come back to them in a minute though, because still Jack Holden is still absolutely giving it everything here. Super close to Holloway. As Glenn Smith coming up now to the last corner, we'll jump back on McLean as he takes P6. Fantanozzi in P7. Coughlin goes up to P6, yeah, just all going mad. P8 then is either Holloway, Holden or Dudley. This was a great little ding dong with these here, and Aaron Holloway, not going to jinx him just yet. It looks like he's just going to hold off Jack Holden to an epic 8th position for him, with Holden then, or 7 for Holloway, 8 for Holden, 9th then for Dudley. Fantanozzi going through the pits. I'm not sure, has that worked from it? It might have. Spitaisi then in P11. Dominic Geese in P12. But this man here, Liam Smit, wins his split as well, which is quite huge. So that has been a great night of racing, guys. Sorry I haven't been more animated. As I say, due to having family and young child around, I'm not going to be shouting through. But thanks so much for enjoying the racing with myself this evening. Let me know in the comments of the stream when you're watching it back who you think deserves driver of the day, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these votes then to give the driver of the day out then in the Discord. So get your votes in, and on Sunday the driver of the day will be announced for this race in the Discord. And yeah, we'll see you back live on Friday for the Friday sprints, which I absolutely love. And that's going to be Valencia 2 sprints, and the same track settings will be used for the Valencia race then. That is on Wednesday evening. So have a good evening wherever you are, and thanks for watching Supercharged Motorsports. It's been a pleasure.